Thanks so much for coming, guys. Really appreciate everybody's time because, we're just swimming in attendees today. So I would like to take a couple of minutes and rant at you guys about the next generation of you instead of the current generation of you. Get yourself out of the current mindset. Seriously, guys, you can come sit down. I really don't mind. So this is the default confidentiality notice, which I don't think is really relevant for this conversation because I'm not talking about any kind of products. So me, myself, and I am Jennifer Schrie, and I have been in the support side for quite a long time, but I am now actually an architect because after 15 years of slamming my head against a desk, I realized I might be able to prevent some of these problems I keep seeing recurring over and over and over again. So I actually started out at Compaq, whose logo I did not put up on this slide because, well, quite frankly, it's kind of difficult to find a Compaq logo these days, and got bought by HP, spent a few years there doing VMware support on their hardware and SCO and a bunch of other random stuff, and then finally moved over to VMware, and then came down to Raleigh to work for NetApp. So I've been doing the VMware thing for, about 18 years now, and I got a little bit of experience with it, but over the course of the 15 years on the support side and the 2 years on the architecture side, I realized automation is definitely the way to go. So I'm going to blab about that for a second because this is what normal people do. So normally what you do is you wake up one day and you decide you're going to go to school, and once you get through school and you get that little diploma, you go and find yourself a job. And that job usually starts out with some kind of printer support or laptop support or just regular consumer support of some kind. And then once you get enough experience with that, then you flip over to sort of enterprise support. You do that for a couple of years, and then finally you silo yourself. You end up doing either fiber or networking or storage or VMware or whatever. It's always siloed. That's what all the enterprises are still currently doing. Jen's background's a little different. I got my diploma and then I got dumped into enterprise. I got dumped into everything all at the same time. Had a little bit of scripting, a little bit of, oh my gosh, panic, these 5 million servers are down, we're losing $1 million a minute. There was no breathing room, there was no learning curve, it was do it all right now. So it's, a little bit of dump everything on Jen, and that's how I spent my 15 years in support. But the point is, and I'm totally going to pull Josh up here for this because he's got a much better concept of this stuff than I do. But my point is with this conversation, I need to pull you guys out of those silos, right? It doesn't matter if you're really good at storage, or you're really good at VMware, you're really good at anything. The point for the future and next steps is getting you out of those silos and into automating things end to end, making sure that you are ready for the future in a matter of speaking. And Josh, please.
All right, I'll help you out here.
Thank you.
I got to say that your journey was very important that I thought we should share here at Insight and in this space.
Thanks.
Because we all have found like we have a path that we've kind of trailed through.
Yep.
Now, when you look at all of the things that you have on your slide here, these different technologies, like this is just scratching the surface. And from an IT standpoint, our ability to kind of carve out our own path to what we do, we got a lot of opportunity in our hands right now. So, like when you talk to folks, when you talk to folks, how do you like help them guide their way to say, well, will I do Puppet? Will I do Ansible? Like what is that path to you?
Well, currently, really, in the solutions architect role I'm in, it's very limited being able to encourage people to go in any specific direction because it's more their business needs that are driving that direction right now. So unless they want to switch companies and just pick some random thing off the screen or some other random, any kind of language or anything else that's available right now, it's really dedicated to whatever that particular customer has as business needs and that company needs right now. And then we can take that need and find out which of these actually fits that business need, and then they can move over out of their silo into that instead. But I don't know, I think generally speaking, there's not a lot you can do to push somebody into something different, right?
Okay.
Sort of like my therapist says, you can't control others.
Yeah. So one concept that I talk about along this space quite frequently is, I've been pushing automation for over a decade. Automate this, you got to do that, PowerShell this.
My gosh, your PowerShell.
And what I've drink. What I've found though is that I've been doing it wrong, right?
How so?
Well, when you try to push people to do something, the first thing they do is they get defensive posture, right? When you go to push them, they try to stable themselves into what makes them comfortable. What we actually need to do is do more of a pull mentality, where we say, here is leveraging this, and here's what's involved, and here, I'm going to take you by the hand and go through the first 3 steps of this, and then I'm just going to keep doing it. And I'm going to, and what I found is that when people make a decision to change their focus in technology, it's because somebody pulled them to that. Now, sometimes it's because there was a critical problem or a business initiative that pulled them to that, but it's never been because somebody says, here,
do this.
You're going to take this now. Although that's actually what happened to me at Cisco with Splunk, but I quickly got pulled into it and got into that technology and interested in it. So, for the audience, I would say, like, when you look at all these technologies out there, be pulled into it, right? Don't feel like it's being pushed on you. You don't have to use these things, right? I'm done telling people that you have to use this stuff. Be pulled into it and find that value, and then improve your quality of life.
Find what works for you. Yeah, the quality of life thing is a really big one, right?
Yeah.
After so many years in support and being on the phone at 3 o'clock in the morning and hearing everybody go, oh, I missed my kid's birthday party because this system went down, or that server is offline, or it's really sad knowing that you can take a lot of this stuff and automate it and avoid that problem entirely.
That's right.
Or monitor it properly and avoid that problem entirely. And yeah, that's a good point. You get into this stuff, you can make your entire quality of life end-to-end day much better, not just your work day. I think that's a very, very good point. Thanks for reminding me about that one.
Well,
I just noticed a little talker icon.
Yeah. I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed your talk, and I think, from an audience perspective, go out there, find something that will pull you in, and figure out how to move forward. Especially like the half dozen people that we imagine are sitting here.
All my invisible friends.
All right.
Thanks so much, guys. Definitely thanks. Josh. Awesome. Alistair?